got the opposing 4 different types of motions. Now we've got punch. Now I'll punch with my finger just so I can keep in the same way, but if I was to punch, I would punch something. Okay? I am punching. So the difference between a dab and a punch, they both have quick movement in, but one of them has a lot more weight behind it. If I punch something, I am keeping my action. It is direct, it is heavy, and it is constrained, and it is, what's the word? It's direct, it's quick, it's bound, and it is heavy. So it's, as compared to the dab, which is quick, it's directed, but it's not heavy. Here we've got a punch, which is heavy. So the difference between me dabbing something and punching something is in your curves. It's in your spacing diagram. If you wanted to punch something, you would have your spacing chart with very, very, very bunched spacing, then very separated spacing, and then bunched at the end. So it would be holding it here, quick through space, and then end. You might have some sort of recovery at the end, but it is essentially the timing spacing chart as compared to the dab, where you would have a much more even distribution of your spacing. Your spacing would be separated. There would still be a gradient, there's still inertia, but it's not as boom as a punch. Punch is compressed, massive fast movement, and then almost no motion at the end. It follows the dab almost perfectly. And that's where you get these aggressive evolutions of movements. If someone starts to intimidate someone, they sit there and they'll go, what are you doing? You start off with this dab, 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 which will eventually come to a push and then a shove. And these are all aggressive space breaking actions in a negotiation. When you're working with someone, if you're trying to intimidate someone, if that's your acting intention, is to really grab someone and say, what are you doing? That is an angry, powerless, I like that, is my new way of working. Anyone you see who's angry is actually completely lost it, guys. They're no longer in control. You've got the upper hand. They may have a knife, but you've got the moral high ground. All right, punch. Now, we said flick before. It was free, it was unconstrained. It is following an FK or an arc-like motion. Then we've got a slash. If you were to slap someone in the face or slap something over like that, that is a heavy movement. There's a lot of fast inertia through it. So if we were animating a slash to get an impressive slash, it's also an angry thing, but it also shows that there's a lack of control. We've got FK movement, we've got arcs, articulation through your joints, all the way through. It moves through space, but it comes up heavy and it comes down heavy. So following the James Baxter rule about weight, if you have compressed spacing at the beginning and then massive changes and then compressed spacing at the end, you have a sense of weight. Takes more frames. You would have to hit something hard, you might have to do it over 20, 30 frames. Really hold that weight and then hit it down hard. That's a slash. So according to Laban, a slash is indirect, so we're not punching with a line. If you punch someone, you must follow a straight arc, or lack of an arc. If you slap someone, you follow an arc. It can be any kind of slash at all, but I'm in no way mentally controlling the trajectory of my movement. I'm just letting my body do what it has with its own geometry. So there will be things like round arcs. 3D would be flat tangents to be able to get that sense of inertia up and down. You have a really strong flat tangent at the bottom, strong flat tangent at the top, and quick spacing through. For 2D animators, it means that your movement at the beginning would be very, 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 very small, but measured, and as you start the rotation, it would move quickly through space, come up slowly, grab that energy at the top, and then when it comes down, the spacing would be slow, slow, fast, 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 recover, recover. but you only really end up having 1, 2 frames in that arc because it's heavy and it's energetic, and you're not going to get that heavy sense of energy if you go heavy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 frames through that arc. It will not in any way, shape or form feel intimidating. It will not give you a feeling as an actor of something angry, where there is a sense of desire to overwhelm something. Like you can't really intimidate someone if you say, come on, that's a glide, that's notes, that's a float. Come on, please help me. Or you had this is an influencing sort of movement. Just listen to me, come with me on this. But if you said, what are you doing? This is not right. That is a punch. I'm not punching someone, but if it's an aggressive, intimidatory action where I'm telling you to do something. Whereas if I was saying, come on, that's just over there. I'm still trying to push you somewhere, but I haven't lost control. All right, then we've got the last two, which kind of correspond to gliding and floating, but they have weight in them. So when you ring something, it is indirect, sustained, heavy, and bound. Now, when you see people demonstrating this one, everyone just immediately can start ringing themselves into it, but it's not. It's still a movement. You can ring something, and it is indirect, so we know straight away. We see the word indirect, it means we have to follow an arc. Yes? Animation, arcs. We follow an arc. It's sustained, which means that it's not fast, so it's something which moves through space. But the big difference is that it's heavy and it's bound. So when it's heavy, it means that you've got that inertia. When you're ringing something, you're doing this, and you're sitting there going, what are you doing? I really can't believe that this is really happening. It's a very angry motion. It's free. You'd probably have it articulated with someone trembling as they're doing it. But they are saying, I can't believe this is happening at the moment. This is just really something beyond me. Yeah? That's a ringing action. You are moving through space. There is no sudden movement. There's weight to it because you're flexing yourself. And it probably correlates to an internal state of powerlessness. Someone sits there saying, what? Someone broke in and stole everything. I can't believe this. This is just, and all the muscles are flexed up. The heart is pumping. Everything is in a state of flux and lack of control. But there's all of those physiological signs of flight or fight that I need to do something. Everything's flexed up, but I'm not in control. Okay? And the other one is a press, and this is the last one. But again, we can look at this and understand Laban's language and interpret it into animators' language. So a press is called direct. So when we see the direct, what does it mean? First thing we need to think about is that there is a linear movement through space. It's no arc. The ringing is this sort of thing, whereas a press is this. It is a movement where you are talking with a direction, you are saying something, you're saying that is not where we're going. I don't care what you're saying. That's nowhere where I want to be at the moment. That is a press. You are pressing through space. There's probably a tremble through it. We are not thrusting through space. We are saying, no, I am not going to listen to you. That's enough. This is a press. This is a controlling statement. This is a person who doesn't want to listen to anything that you're saying because I am regaining my control by pushing everything away from me. Okay? So, there we go. 6 different actions. And they all have the same kinematic thing happening. We have a flick. We have a dab. We have a glide. We have a float. We have a slash. We have a punch. We have ringing. And we have pressing. Those 6 actions. Oh, what did I miss?
8 actions,
Ah,
isn't it?
8. I've probably done 8, haven't I?
Yeah.
6, no, 8. So 3 things. King Arthur says, okay. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisitions. Our elements are surprise, immaculate. No, it's 4, 5. You get the idea. We are now, thank you very much, you may press stop.